Hey everybody, it's Andrew. Welcome back to Tyranny. Right then, last we left off, well, I think I actually jumped to Tunon's court off camera. I think. I brought the Ebb and Lantry with me. I'm probably gonna trade off one of them. I'm not sure who. Maybe the Lantry for Barrett, just because having a tank around might be a bit more beneficial, considering that. I'm assuming she's a bit on the squishy side, seeing as she's a sorceress, but Jura here and Verse are definitely squishy. So yeah, there are people. Let's just converse with random people. Hello. Oh, I secretly hope Kairos doesn't invite more Archons to tears. For all their wisdom, they can just create harm. I can't much about Kairos' law. I'm here. I'm afraid to ask. Oh, don't be afraid. Oh, shut up. Here's a good reason for Tunon to wear a mask. That is a good question, actually. Why does he wear the mask? Tunon has met the Overlord. Can you imagine? How does Tunon touch the ground? I wonder where he sleeps, if he sleeps. Interesting. Can I, like... Okay, there we go. So... I'm assuming I have to go over here to talk to the floating, shadowy black mask. Great, okay. Oh... Good. They're here. Let's put this off as long as possible. My cousin fought in Stalwart. Have you seen him by chance? The real agony is not knowing. No idea. The Scarlet Chorus raided my home during the invasion. You'll never see my daughter again, but Tunon said he would pay restitution on the damage. That sucks. Yeah, but, you know. I can't have questions. Oh, what are you? You repeating something? It's here to hang you, my niece, for the sing a song about Graven Ash. They're very protective, their Archon. Well, Lady Lucretius. You're named, huh? This well-dressed older woman stands apart from the milling crowds of nobles. She stares off into the distance, oblivious to your approach until you're right in front of her. Oh, greetings! Greetings! For some reason, the S just wouldn't come. She offers a reserved smile. Andrea Lucretius, formerly of Thistleholm. You have the look of someone who belongs here. A fate binder, no doubt. She nods. Do you need something from me? What are these nobles doing in, or has the city fared? What brings out like your lieutenant's court? Let's go with 3 first. A frown cracks her pleasant demeanor. Like the rest of the frightened inbreds here, I came to see Tunon and ask him to right a wrong. My manor was destroyed during the conquest. I told the adjudicator my woes, but we didn't exactly see eye to eye. What's Thistleholm exactly? A great sigh deflates her. It was my family's ancestral hall. The oldest stones dated back to the years when the bastard city was naught but a dozen roofs and wagons clustering for warmth. Compared to the houses of the great lords, it was nothing special. Age had softened the wood, and its queer placement in the warehouse district set it apart from the finer grounds where lords and ladies strolled for amusement. It was a mess, but our mess all the same. I would invite you over for tea. I have tea here. Something stronger even, but it would only disappoint you. You'll find naught there but a gaping hole. What happened? Collateral damage happened. Oh, a very political way of putting it. When the adjudicator cast his judgment on the bastard city, he destroyed the districts of the corrupt merchant kings, their manors, their counting houses, and yes, their warehouses. Aged, dignified Thistleholm collapsed as a massive sinkhole opened under her foundation. The bastard city's laws may not have been perfect by Kairos' standards, but my family followed them with respect and never took a copper ring more than we deserved. I can't help but feel that my estate was not the criminal Tunon had in mind during his sentencing. So, what would you do now? That's the question, isn't it? I appealed to the adjudicator, thinking he would see reason. After considering my case for all of 8 seconds, he awarded me a belt of rings and a plot of land on the outskirts of the city. It was better than being turned away entirely, I guess. Tunon told me to build anew and start farming. Farming? Can you believe that? She shakes her head. It's not even that I'm opposed to the labor, but we're in a war. I can't have the Scarlet Chorus breathing down my neck, raiding my crops, and Kairos knows what else. Yeah. Tunon's word is Kairos' law, whether you think fair or not. Kairos' laws are made to serve the masses, not the individual. Stop one take your ring just as done. The Scarlet Chorus are dogs. It's using to higher protection. Ooh. Well, Okay, 3 is right out. 4, kind of true, but would probably piss off for us to say it, so I'm going to avoid. Plus, I kind of sided with them, so though at this point, I'm hoping I can maybe not. Like, and somehow. Especially when that little tidbit of regardless of whether it was said to place to sow doubt or if it had truth to it, that little bit of a little snippet about Nerat betraying Kairos, or at the very least, working against Graven Ash, which in a sense still is betraying Kairos. He's working with the enemy. That traitor. Anyway, so I'm kind of really regretting my decision, especially because I did go and make another character and started playing down, doing different decisions with different pathway in the beginning and so on, and very much preferred the disfavored route so far. Just gonna put that out there, but we'll see. Tunon towards Kairos' law, do you think if or not? 1 or 2, I'm not sure which though. They both seem kind of dismissive, and well, I'll go with the second one because it sounds a little less demeaning, or not demeaning. Well, kind of. I suppose it's related, but patronizing. Yeah. So Kairos' laws are made to serve the masses, not the individual. I can appreciate that, especially when there's suffering or corruption on a grand scale. It all makes sense on parchment, doesn't it? She glances to the left and right with unease. I come from a long line of smart, ring-savvy merchants, but even I can't reconcile Tunon's justice with Kairos' law. There's something wrong about it all. Maybe Tunon knows something I don't, or maybe... She trails off, shaking her head in doubt. I wonder if this is hinting at something that you can do in the story. A certain pathway, maybe. Ring-savvy merchants, even I can't reconcile Tunon's justice with Kairos' law. Maybe Tunon is taking some liberties with his judgments. That's in the Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, what do you mean? You presume no more justice than the adjudicator? Let's just go with what do you mean. People come here for justice. They usually get a version of it, but it's Tunon's version, not theirs. Half the time they don't even get what they wanted out of a ruling in their favor. She shakes her head. The deed to a farm, for instance. Not to put my own ignorance on display, but if more people knew how Kairos' laws worked, they might not come here seeking a ruling at all, even a fair one. Tunon is a servant of law, but he is the Overlord's vassal as much as any of us. Sometimes it seems like he uses his position to twist everything in the Empire's favor. Or just pieces on a board and he can move us wherever the law justifies that we stand. That doesn't sound, well, legal. Oh god, the first thing I saw. Fascinating. Now, how much is my sounds worth to you, ungrateful one? I don't think my character would stoop that low. Kairos' law defines law. That isn't for either of us to question. Tunon isn't one to change his mind, unfair as it may seem, the ruling stands. You should know better than to speak ill the adjudicator in my presence. I can only endeavor to bring true justice. This is the tears. Well, definitely going with 5. Kairos defines law that isn't for either of us to question. Sinuses are acting up a little bit, it's irritating when I'm trying to talk. My apologies. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go with 4, actually. It sounds a bit cliche and a bit too goody two-shoes, but it's the only one that I really like here because 1 and 2 are a bit mindlessly in line, which I don't really feel like my character would just... Given the nature of their background, I don't think she would just kind of cow down mindlessly. Even if she did something she didn't agree with, she would have her reasons for not wanting to do so, and would probably attempt to argue as such. But in any case, I can only endeavor to bring true justice to the tears because I have no other options I really like here, and I'm not going with the 5th one. At least one of Kairos' agents has her heart in it. I'm still holding out hope that the tears are left standing after this war and that Kairos' peace makes something great of us. A lady can hope, can't she? Farewell, Footbinder. Be well. Huh. Noble. Noble. Let's just make sure they don't have anything separate to say, I guess. If I pledge fealty to Tunon, will he accept my daughter as a Fatebinder? If she fits his standards. You're a Fatebinder, aren't you? Yes, I am. How I wish I could just walk up here and this is Tunon's court hymn straight to the abyss. Oh. Any petitioners that are oh my god, I dare fucking click. Any petitioners that displease Tunon would meet their fate in the pits below the court. He has a pit. Oh my god. That's amazing. Oh, that's incredible. Nobles are getting restless. Keeping the peace is a real challenge. Alright, let's go. Mocking Blaze. Bitter Quip. Oh, good. Blood Mulch. Aurora. Sevius. And Albatronus. Okay. Let's go see Fatebinder Nunaval, Kallio, and Rogulis. Right.
You call yourselves officers of Kairos' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
Thank you. The shadows beneath Tunon's cloak darken and flare around him. Murmurs of unease erupt in the court. I'll just listen. I'm kind of curious to hear. First off, I like his voice. And two, interrupting him, probably not a very tactful decision. Oh, Your Honor, I have relayed the events as I experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. She makes a dismissive gesture to the Scarlet Chorus representative. On my honor, and on that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon. Oh, so you imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than yours? You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see through your lies because it is favored to think themselves better than an honest gang. Very, very interesting juxtaposition of words there.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Bled and Mark will see to your fate.
Ooh. Kairos knife from the shadows. The unseen drop of poison that enforces the Overlord's will. He reported to John the Adjudicator, serving in his capacity as the final word of those who hold Kairos in contempt. If you know the origin of the Archon of Shadows, or how Kairos maintains a hold on him, those who anger the Archon never live long past sunset. Huh. Interesting.
Fatebinder,
oh, shit.
We will start
gaze
with the
upon
matter
me.
of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other. In addition to violating Kairos' peace, they have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival. Tell us what transpired.
You must be mistaken. I wasn't present. I wasn't there. You can't prove it, despite all the people who saw me, but wasn't there. The Archons cannot agree on who should lead the siege, and descended into accusations of treachery. It seemed a mutual spat. The Archons have been of different minds since the start of this war. Yes, that is very true.
Your perspective is appreciated, but the dispositions of the two Archons are already a matter of record. Loyal subjects of Kairos have drawn blood from each other, a cardinal crime. Something happened at Vendrian's Well to trigger this feud.
Now, fine. The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and training outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn. True, but what balderdash? The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw hut if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vengian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy if only Ash and his legion would agree to a plan. Right.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I warn you both against speaking out of turn. Something more than a mere disagreement unraveled this campaign. But I will return to that in time. Let us speak of Ascension Hall. From all accounts, it would seem you were instrumental in its capture, or so the petitioner of the Scarlet Chorus testifies. The disfavored commander has a dimmer view of the matter. Lend me your perspective.
The lies. No, I joined with the Scarlet Chorus. We took the Citadel with an unstoppable advance. I'm not gonna screw myself over here.
The edict meant certain doom if the siege failed. So why, when your survival depended on it, did you join your strength to the Scarlet Chorus and not the elite disfavored?
Oh God. Petty squabbles clouded Graven Ash's judgment. He was too mired in assaulting the Voices to conquer the Citadel properly. The Voices of Neron was going to win the Citadel at any cost. Ash values his army more than his duty to Kairos. I don't like either of those because I don't agree with either of those. That's not why. Because honestly, the Scarlet, my personal reasoning was the Scarlet Chorus was just purely fodder. They had a large amount of troops compared to the disfavored, and you can just throw them at the enemy, and they'll replenish themselves from prisoners and other, well, whoever they kidnap, I suppose. It was a matter, for me, more of throw the expendable horde of less experienced of less experienced soldiers, well, warriors really, at the enemy, and let them get carved down as they slowly or quickly, depending on the enemy's defenses, pave over the opposition. Whereas with the disfavored, loss of a soldier would be far more, costly, especially in terms of if their equipment was damaged, seeing as they actually had real equipment, armor, better forged weaponry, as opposed to the Scarlet Chorus, who basically just got whatever they could get their hands on, by whatever means. But I guess I had to pick one of these, so... Fine.
There is an incoming communication.
Good for... Oh, it's a tweet from Satan. Anyway, okay, so... trying to figure out which of these is less insulting to Graven Ash. I suppose the first one is a little less insulting because it doesn't call his loyalty to Kairos into question, so... For a long while, the adjudicator hovers in silence, shadows trailing from below his robes.
I will consider this testimony at length. The court thanks you for it. Is there anything you wish to add at this time?
An enemy claimed Nerat aided them. Whether there is truth in their testimony or not, it happened. It should be investigated. Where's that option? Fine, I've told you all that I apparently know. Apparently I'm a goddamned idiot.
Your testimony is accepted by the court. The statements of our guests raise questions in my mind. There is much about this campaign that has caused me to wonder. A shipment of iron weapons was short on arrival. Where coveted iron is concerned, I don't believe it to be a clerical error. One of my agents recovered this seal in Echo Call. It belongs to a merchant collective. Lethian's Crossing is teeming with their kind. If you would root out treachery, I would advise starting there.
So you want me to investigate a late shipment of iron weapon? Okay, sure.
Petitioners, leave us.
Oh, cool.
I would have a private audience with the Fatebinder.
There is an incoming
Descend and join me. You will find the way opened.
Thank you. It almost sounds like one of those really cheap puff of smoke sound of it. Okay. Can I talk to you? Tunon favor 1. Ah, Jura Matol, you return unscathed and more acclaimed than ever, as seems to be your way. The Fatebinder of War claps you good-naturedly and with excessive strength in the back. Come, you must regale me with all that your journey has held. I could use a moment of respite between friends. He regards you with a warm, boisterous smile. Word has reached me regarding your negotiation tactics at Apex. I must admit I'm impressed you made any headway with the southern wretches. If they are open to reason, it would seem they aren't as ignorant as the Archon of War would have us believe. Come, let us speak freely. Oh, God. How are you going to become a Fatebinder? We're curious to Tunon's masks, the history or the Fatebinders, armies or allies. I've claimed the Spire at Vendrian's Well. That kind of sounds a bit... I claimed it in Tunon's name as an extension of his court, not from myself. I'm good. What about you? Jura Matol, I see you return to the fold. Your exploits in Vendrian's Well are the matter of some discussion. The Fatebinder of Balance regards you with a discerning eye, and for a moment you feel as if she is trying to peer into the very depths of your mind. You won't like what you find there. What can I do for you? Kalia touches a gentle hand to your shoulder. Bitch, don't fucking touch me. Get your filthy hand off me. Has anything happened while I was away? You seem to know much of my actions. Have you been spying on me? Have you been, I can the bastard city. How have you? What, Tunon? You think they happened while I was away? There have been whispers that Cairn grew disloyal to Graven Ash's commander in the campaign in Nazur. I took up the mantle of investigation near Plainsgate, and judging the rumors to be true, dispatched Cairn by proclaiming Kyresi of Stone. Okay, so this time around you did that. The very earth turned against the traitorous Archon as the region split asunder in righteous judgment. Cool. 3. Tunon sends me on assignment here and there. I settle disputes between the locals and the adjudicator is otherwise occupied. She smirks. Everything from trade disagreements to pushing chorus squatters out of basements. Real rewarding work. It's gotta be funny. She waves it off. The glory of war is not an honor reserved for the likes of us. We're fish swimming in Tunon's wake, picking up scraps along the way. We're rather large and imposing compared to the bottom feeders of the tiers, but fish all the same. We are the somewhat bigger fish. Right, see it. And you. Fatebinder Rogulis. Okay. Fatebinder, you return. Rogulis looks you up and down with an inscrutable expression. You look as if you have questions when we don't tangle. Ask, I am feeling generous. This may end up being very useful to know soon, actually. What should I start with? The old walls. We know little enough about the ancient structures that say that they predate all historical records. The forbidding ruins crisscross the tiers in north alike centuries before we raised our cities. The only one old enough to guess is likely Kairos. Okay, and the Bane? The Bane are found in the old walls, but much of their defining qualities still escape me. They are creatures of smoke, claw, and fang. If you find yourself unfortunate enough to fight one, remember that spells are effective against them, but grab the attention of others lurking near. Okay, well, that was all I was interested in.
On it.
Right. Let us... Okay, I'm curious. Let's see if we can talk to him. Put this off a little bit longer, why not? Nice job making Avengers one piece. You must be easy when you can hide in the spire. She nods you the gesture of her staff. Fatebinder, you're no stranger to Tunon's court, but I prefer to spend as little time here as possible. In spite of these closed walls, I feel strangely exposed. He glances up at Tunon. So good of you to join a little family with the voices. We'll make you feel right at home. Somehow I don't like the sound of that at all. You'll make our time in the tiers an interesting one, won't you? He smiles for an uncomfortably long time. Of course you will. Ew. Oh, this should be good. Let's do it. Let's poke the hornet's nest. Hey! I turned on your boss. I'm sorry. Fatebinder, the lieutenant gives you a curt nod. I'm ill at ease in this polished hall, but I admit that it's a reprieve from the battlefield and training grounds. If Ash needs me to stay here and represent his interests throughout the occupation, then I'll be up to the task. Oh. Okay. I am duty-bound to remain civil to in this vaunted court, but don't push it, traitor. Fair enough. Aurora avoids making any eye contact with you, but instead carries on speaking with your company. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. Zoom? I can't zoom out anymore, apparently. Right. Actually, what time is it? Yeah, you know what? Okay, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time when we actually talk to Tunon. God teasing buck I am. Hope you enjoyed.